With the launch of Black Myth Wukong on the horizon, it's only natural that we begin preparing for our journey to the west. And what better way to embrace our destiny than to acquaint ourselves with the Monkey King, Sun Wukong himself. Although you may believe that you've never heard tell of his legend, what if I share with you the fact that he served as an inspiration for Goku of Dragon Ball? With his monkey-like tail, extending staff, and incredible combat prowess, it would go on to be recognized as one of the most popular anime of all time. But before we explore the monkey behind the myth, it's time to give credit where it's due. Kudos to Mystery8827 for locating the Easter egg in the previous thumbnail. If you look closely, you'll see a bottle of pills in the bottom left hand corner. If you're new to the channel, I've started playing a game with viewers where I hide an Easter egg in the thumbnail of each of my videos. The first person to state what and where it is in the comments gets a shout out in the following video. Now, back to the matter at hand. Ironically, Sun Wukong's incredibly exciting journey would begin humbly as a lifeless rock that sat atop the mountain of flowers and fruit. Since the dawn of creation, the winds had shaped the stone into the form of a monkey, and one fateful day, he was granted the gift of life. In his early days, he befriended a group of monkeys and quickly became their beloved king, but one of the eldest died unexpectedly. This loss impacted Wukong in a way that would forever change him, serving as the catalyst to his insatiable desire to seek out immortality and escape the cold embrace of death. He ventured into a nearby forest where he discovered a legend of an immortal Taoist martial artist. After being denied entry and tutelage for months, the master, intrigued by Wukong's persistence, finally accepted him as a student. For years they trained together until he finally bestowed upon the Monkey King the knowledge of the way of immortality. Suddenly, he awoke from his trance-like state and realized that he had acquired his mastery of the arts while in a deep meditation. Upon his return, he learned of a demon king who had been enslaving his kin and destroyed him with great ease. After sifting through the spoils of war, he was unable to find a formidable weapon for himself. The Monkey King was in need of a weapon that could withstand his incredible strength and shape-shifting abilities. In search of such an armament, Wukong ventured across the sea to the palace of the Dragon King. Legends told of the innumerable treasures the king possessed. Certainly one of these artifacts would be worthy enough to serve as a suitable weapon. When he arrived, Wukong barged his way through the guards to gain an audience with the fellow king. Despite his initial reservations, the Dragon King realized that Wukong was a threat. In fear of inciting the Monkey King's wrath, he ordered his subjects to bring forth weapons from his armory. However, each one proved fruitless. It wasn't until he wielded the signature golden-banded staff, the Ruyi Jingu Bang, that he found the perfect match. Despite it weighing nearly 8,000 kilograms, or well over 17,000 pounds, he could effortlessly twirl it in dizzying yet destructive circles, destroying anything in his path. The magical staff became an extension of the Monkey King himself, with a plethora of its own unique powers to boot. It could change size, fly, and even strike enemies at will. When Wukong was not in battle, the staff would shrink down to the size of a sewing needle so that he could store it inside of his ear. It wasn't long before the Dragon King sought out punishment for the Monkey King and he was ultimately sentenced to death. But even death was no match for Wukong. Ever the cunning trickster, he traversed the depths of hell itself to remove his name from the Book of Life and Death, thus preventing the collection of his soul. His misdeeds were reported to the Jade Emperor and the heavens themselves ordered a full-on assault. Unable to best the Monkey King, the forces of heaven decided to call a truce instead. In hopes to manage his unpredictable nature, the Jade Emperor extended an invitation to Wukong and bestowed upon him an official title. He would be the Protector of Horses, which was in fact a fancy way to say he was a lowly stable boy. This was the lowest of the heavenly ranks, and once Wukong discovered this, he went on a rampage that encompassed both the heavens and the earth. But even the Monkey King's actions weren't beyond divine judgment. The Jade Emperor appealed to Buddha, who wagered that Wukong could not escape the palm of his hand. Without a moment's hesitation, Wukong accepted the challenge and leapt to the very edge of the universe itself. At the precipice near the end of all creation, only 5 massive pillars towered above all. Confident in his victory, Wukong returned to Buddha to claim his prize, but realized in horror that the pillars he bore witness to earlier were actually Buddha's all-encompassing fingers. Buddha clasped his fingers together, formed them into mountains, and hurled Wukong back to Earth where he was imprisoned for 500 years. There, he would learn the virtues of patience and humility. One day, a Buddhist monk on a pilgrimage in search of the sutras was in need of a disciple that could protect him on his journey. The Monkey King offered his servitude in exchange for his freedom upon a successful mission, and together they set off. This would mark the beginning of Sun Wukong's journey to the West, where numerous trials and tribulations lay ahead, each accompanied with its very own lesson regarding Buddhist teachings and virtues. In the end, the Monkey King would emerge from the tale as an enlightened being and be forever remembered as the Buddha of fighting and victory. Or was this all simply a work of fiction? A white lie? Or better yet, just a black myth? Only time will tell, and that's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe. It lets me know you want more content just like this. Click on these videos on screen to delve into more lore of your favorite games, and I'll be there to guide you when you arrive. Consider becoming a member for exclusive perks like emojis, members-only videos, and more. Or check out my Ko-fi page if you want to support me in a more personal way. Until next time, it's the Inhuman One signing out. Join the Inhuman community today.